Ominous. Epic. Welcome back to the Hat Chat podcast, episode 102. If you're joining us for the first time, where have you been for the past 101?
It started in 182.
That's all right. You can go back. They don't link together. There's no chronological order, really. They're all standalone, to be honest, so you can hop through them all.
That's right, season 1, episode 2.
We're only on episode 2. The pilot cleared. We did all right with that one. The budget was a bit loosey-goosey, but we've locked in a celebrity this week. Who is our celebrity? Oh, look, it's Ross Hornby.
What? I'm the celebrity?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How did that work out?
I don't know. Wasn't that good a budget.
Jeez. Well, I was going to say I'm not getting paid. So there is a budget?
Anyway, so thanks to our wonderful patrons for supporting this wonderful endeavor of us using our vocal cords and keeping them nice and supple every week on patreon.com/hatfilms. They've chosen our hypotheticals for this week, which I made up all 3 of them this week.
That's good.
I'm getting sick of looking up websites. And they always say the same thing.
I like that it's coming from the top of his dome.
Do you?
It's just, you get this.
I mean, we're going to be lucky if they're framed properly as a question.
How dare you?
Holes, but then we
How dare you?
every time.
These are
That's
great
fine.
questions and topical.
Okay.
Well, not topical, current, trending. But yeah, thank you to patrons for supporting us. Also, thank you for sending us emails. We got some news from there today, which is great. hatchat@hat-films.com.
I see.
If we manage to get through to those, thank you very much. Also, that's where the fingals are sent to, much like Josh Yowd, who sent in that epic orchestral version of our intro there. Thank you very much, Josh Yowd. So, with that very professional intro out the way, I guess we'll move swiftly on to the core, the meat of this podcast. And what is that, Alex Smith?
That is the hypotheticals.
I like how when I pass things to you, it's almost like a teacher asking a question to a student. It's like, are you paying attention?
I'm paying attention. The first Patreon question is, oh man, turns out you were just like 11 in Stranger Things and got MK Ultra'd hard. How far would you push your powers? How much of a nosebleed are you willing to get? And would you take a peek at the upside down? That's the first question.
Yeah.
I think for anyone listening or watching, you need to know a little bit about Stranger Things to understand that. But essentially,
what rock are you living under?
It doesn't matter. They might not have watched it. What famous films have you not watched recently? Huh?
Loads. So many.
So many. I mean, don't start that list.
I'm not a current guy.
If you don't know who 11 is in Stranger Things or what MK Ultra is, essentially in this story, a kid gets traumatized, essentially experimented on, to make her a super psychic, powerful person who can move things with her mind and do weird stuff. The Upside Down is kind of like another dimension with lots of scary, slimy things in it.
It's
and MK Ultra was a
downside,
program by the American government to test extreme doses of psychedelic drugs on people to see if they could give them powers.
Yeah.
Spoiler, it just made everybody nuts.
It gave them extreme powers to do telekinetic things, which is pretty cool, huh? So you're saying if we've been given telekinesis of some kind, we can control that. How much of a nosebleed are you willing to get? I guess up until I think I'm going to die is probably the maximum, or like
but how can you tell?
Until death.
When do you know if like this is a death nosebleed? Or,
I think if you feel really faint and about to like pass out, you should probably stop.
Yeah, that's where you start to worry.
But what you're using it for, I guess, is the question, right? What are you using your power for?
The power of nosebleeds.
Not the power
I mean,
although it is the power of nosebleeds as well. It's a
from what we've seen.
If the only psychic power you actually got from all of it was the ability to give yourself a nosebleed on command, can you imagine a situation where that would be useful?
Boring meetings.
Sorry,
if
I've got a nosebleed.
Not again. Sorry, Mitch, gotta go.
I can't do this presentation.
Yeah, I can't do this really annoying like maths thing. Okay, I'm out. That's a good thing. I guess if you wanted to just literally use your blood as ink, that's a good method. You go, oh, hang on.
Sorry, I've written you another paper, another essay in blood. Who are you giving those writings to?
I don't know.
What do you reckon is causing that nosebleed? Like, how do nosebleed usually start, and how would
I don't know.
you know
Pressure in the brain. I'm guessing like it's
because the capillaries in your nose are very thin
we
and
spoke about
close to the
aneurysms last
surface.
week, and how sneezing and suppressing sneezes can cause death. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm assuming it's pressure. Like, obviously, she's using her brain power and her like magical ability to kind of like control something with her eyes. But it's causing intense pressure on her head, and like I guess like you say, you've got the tiny little capillaries or whatever. Maybe they're butting inside.
What you think actually happens with nosebleeds normally, or just these particular ones?
These particular ones, I don't know what I mean. I don't know what happens with them normally. What happens with them normally? You pick too deep.
It's just the membrane of the. Apparently, dry air can cause it. It's just the membrane of the nasal cavity. Like, it's very thin. Yeah, exactly. That's why people use it to get drugs into their system. And damaged blood vessels in the membrane in the nose just start to bleed. And some people genetically are more prone to that happening. More delicate nose linings.
Isn't it
I know someone who's taken a Nurofen like that. That's not okay.
I know 2 guys that have taken Lemsip like that.
That's been discussed on Old Hat Chats.
It's not worth it. It's horrible. It's a horrible experience.
It's not cool.
Yeah, you numb the side of your face. It's weird. And it's like really thick as well. Anyway, don't recommend it.
You didn't get nosebleeds from that. We should do it again.
But yeah, I'd like to do a bit of telekinesis.
How hard would you push yourself? Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
Amazing.
Well, who would not want telekinesis?
Hmm?
Not to stop you from talking about it. Go on. I mean, I would agree. I'd love telekinesis too. It's such a cool power.
I thought Ross asked the question. What would I use it for?
Yeah,
what did you ask?
What would you use it for? What's your first go-to kind of like convenience? Using
Pantsing people.
You're pulling their pants down.
Pantsing them.
Nosebleed.
You're just going to pull their pants down. No one notices you unless they look at you.
Well, you can see me. I'm like wiping the blood off my nose, and everyone's pantsed around me.
You don't think you'd feel bad? I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't do it. I bet you, Chris Trott, wouldn't do it.
Damn.
It's like you've just embarrassed somebody out in the middle of like a aisle of a supermarket. You pants them, and they can't work out.
I think he's not gone near them. I think that's a perfect prank. Like,
but what I'm saying is, you personally,
did you need to pull your own pants down at the same time?
You would pants strangers because you have the power to. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
That's what you're saying as well. You're saying it sounds great. What I'm saying
I think it's funny. I think it's a funny prank.
It's a funny prank. Pantsing, of course. I mean, even without telekinesis, is pretty damn funny, especially on school fields and secondary school. So yeah, I mean, I always think about going down supermarket aisles. Pants yourself, so you're like, I got two. It couldn't have been me.
No, me too. There's some of these pranks.
You've got nosebleed.
Some really lame pranks where like what was it? Someone was shopping and then someone like dropped like a big old like laundry basket on their head, but they had one on their head as well, and they're like, "What the hell?" And they're like taking it off as well behind them, and like, "You too? We both did this? Oh, who did that?
The laundry basket.
No,
weird.
Who's getting us?" And then like, what the? It's just a really confusing and baffling situation. So I imagine Trott could be that person, but he's got his pants down, and so he's like, "Well, who's done all this?
Who pants me?"
Wipes nosebleed.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to have a thick mustache to disguise that nosebleed.
Yeah. I don't think it will disguise it though.
More than not having one.
Go red.
Especially if it's slightly dark.
Would you use your ability for anything else? Like in the film, it's kind of suppressed. It's held back because obviously there's no real control of that ability. I imagine are you going to try and test that ability like the cheerleader in Heroes, where she just jumps off things?
I like that.
Testing it further and further, where it's like, I could die this time.
That was dark, wasn't it? Really?
Who cares? It was dark.
Not enough, but not enough like shows about people with powers do that. I actually really liked that when they did that. Yeah, they were filming it, weren't they? Because they were like, attempt number 3, I'm going to jump off of this piece of heavy machinery into a ditch. This is in Heroes.
Loads of things do that though.
When Heroes was good. I don't know. I found a lot of stuff. Spider-Man did it.
He kept hitting the walls, and he's like,
yeah,
these devices aren't working.
Yeah,
I do like exactly. I like sequences like that in shows. The Tobey Maguire ones. Was that your favorite one?
Not really. I don't think so. No, I like the newer ones. I like the cartoon one more recently, the animated one. Really good. Really good.
Which
Into
one's
the
that?
Spider-Verse.
Oh, Into the
And
Spider-Verse.
the latest
Yeah.
Spider-Man was actually really good as well.
I thought you were
actually.
thinking
have
of the
enjoyed new ones.
original Spider-Man cartoon.
No, well, I haven't really watched many of those, to be honest. But yeah, no, the latest films are actually really good and enjoyable. I like the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's quite funny. Quite a funny guy.
Yeah.
Third one's
Yeah, he
better
is.
than that, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Agree.
And the
Tick.
first one is better than the second one. There you go.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the
But
second
in
one's the
order of
weakest as
so
well.
3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3, 1, 2.
Ooh,
Well,
okay,
no, actually,
3, 1, 2,
well,
maybe
the
1,
first.
3, 2.
Anyway, yeah, go on.
Okay.
Back
You
to
guys
the
seen the new
hypo-
Doctor Strange film yet?
No,
No.
but I've got a good
You
hypothetical
didn't
about
say
it.
it was very good, so I didn't even entertain the idea until like it's available on Disney or something.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
And even then, I'll look at how long it is, and then I'll kind of debate whether I should spend
Oh.
time watching it.
Yeah. Now I push my powers like crazy, Trott. I would see
Yeah.
how big I could go. I would try and make myself levitate because we've got this theory
Oh,
about like
yeah.
if you have telekinetic
Self.
powers, why
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
telekinesis yourself, right?
Mhm.
No, I'd be doing all sorts of shit. Yeah, I'd turn myself into a weapon, sure.
Would you want people to know about it? Would you try and do like a Moses where you part like the sea, like go over to the Bristol Harbour or something, just go.
I
And then
feel
just
like
part the seas. The seas are probably like, yeah, I'm doing this. And
I
there's
think
just
I'd do
there's
it.
like a big kind of like, look at me. I'm going to wear robes. I'm going to wear a crown.
you're extremely at risk at that point, right? Because although you're telekinetic and stuff, you're still a flesh body,
Yeah.
and
I'd
you
go
could get
full
taken
Homelander
down.
with it.
I pull my own bones out my body accidentally.
Oh no!
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dumb.
Nosebleed.
I would choose the best government. I would choose the best government that exists within the globe, right? And then I would
Okay.
be like, I'll come and work for you. All right. Let's
Okay.
create a
So you'll
globalist
be
agenda.
like that blue guy in Watchmen. You'll work for the government. And
Dr.
start just
Manhattan.
blasting. We're using him as a weapon now. Either that or jail. Ha ha.
And then he got
Yeah,
really
pretty much.
jaded
Firing
and went
squad.
to Mars.
Well, it's the same plot with Homelander. Basically, it's like in the
I need to watch
Boys,
the new
where it's like
series.
they are. It's really good. The new series is excellent.
Yeah, I've waited because I want to. Binge.
What Homelander in general in the Boys isn't necessarily this season specific spoilers. He is just like he is a god. He's unkillable. He's
Well, yeah.
extremely powerful.
Extremely, yeah.
But
He
they have
loves
enough.
tit milk, right?
Well,
He's got some weird
yeah.
kinks.
exactly. So they're fucked up by this, and they explore that more and more and more. But like, yeah, essentially, if you're that kind of super powered psychic, telekinetic master, then yeah, for sure, put it to work. It's a physical skill. Do something physical with it. Maybe
Apparently,
I don't know, chop trees at an alarming rate. You could become the greatest forester in the world.
Silo. Silo was the one who kind of basically collected everyone's abilities.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one.
he like cut along
Essentially,
there.
he has telekinesis, right? So that's what but he's using like laser etching.
It was weird, yeah.
Well,
And then
had
he just
touched
became so
their
powerful
brains
that it was just like,
to
fuck it.
learn how they do things. So I think the idea was
OP.
his power was learning how things work, and
Yeah.
so he would touch their brain, and then that would allow him to understand how their power worked
Yeah.
and use it.
Because he made clocks and watches.
Yeah. Oh, he was such a good villain, so
was.
good. And
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto was it, and then you had Peter
He
Petrelli
became
as the
Spock.
antithesis.
Peter
of
Petrelli,
that.
and then it kind of just really. Was there a new series of that not long ago where they kind of
Yeah,
tried
they
to
tried to
reboot
restart
then
it, and it
it's
was
kind of like,
really shit again. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I
lost
really
interest
didn't
after
like
the
Peter
second
Petrelli
series.
in Heroes.
No,
Such a
His character was a good idea though. Like,
Yeah.
as in him being this sort of like deck of cards, as in he was this empath and also he was kind of the light to the dark of Silo, which I quite like the simplicity of.
yeah.
But he was very much like the central
Yeah.
character in The Expanse. He was a bit meh, wasn't he, Peter Petrelli? He was a bit like
he wasn't Peter
every so often you
Petrelli
see him
in
being
the
like
Expanse, though, was he?
he always used to pull no, he wasn't
Oh, that
Peter
very,
Petrelli in The Expanse. Yeah.
Awkward-looking face. Just terrible things are happening. Brother, stop
Terrible
running
things.
for governor.
That's
Oh
that.
yeah. Fucking
Nathan.
brother.
Nathan, yeah. We can all
let's move-
fly. Spoiler.
Oh. Should we move on to our second hypothetical?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
They're really good this week.
Nice. Okay, well, there's 3 of them.
I wrote them.
I know you did. You've written them before, though, right? Some of them.
Have I?
Oh, I don't know. Have you?
No,
thought you
these
did
are.
before. Oh, these are.
Oh
okay.
yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the same
Come
ones. It's like I hope
No,
not.
no. But you've come up with some before. and-
Yes. Go on
You're
then.
very proud of these ones, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. What's this one?
Second one. Sorry, I was just finding out. Heroes Reborn played for one season and then they cancelled it. So the reboot of Heroes did not go well. Second question from the brain of Chris Trott, which is a stretch to call it brain. Let's call it a sort of CPU, if you will. Marvel Multiverse exists, and it turns out you're the most mundane version of yourself. All your variants are way more powerful. One variant is attempting to dominate and destroy all existence. You're the only one in their way. How would you stop them? Not very effectively, by the sounds of things. How would you stop them? I'm the only one in the way.
Well, I mean, this is so open because obviously all your variants. But expand on that a little bit, Trott. So, as in all your different versions of yourself in the multiverse.
Imagine there's every possible version of you, technically out there.
Sure.
There could be a Hulk version of you. There could be whatever, like a Thor version, one that's made of worms.
Wow. Yeah.
You're the basic variant, like compared to all these other ones.
We are the basic variants, I'll point out.
Yeah, we are very much
life.
basic. We could be ant versions though, or like
True. No, yeah, you're right. We could be
insect
like slime
versions.
Bacteria.
Ants,
we're not little robots.
Big dicks versions.
Massive.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's the variant I am.
You don't know though.
But a version of you comes in flying, looking like Superman or whatever, with a glowing light behind them. They've even got a halo, but a couple of horns as well.
Wow.
And they just start decimating cities and stuff. And then you're there to try to appeal to yourself to stop this madness. To stop.
Please, alt Smithy.
I don't know what you could say to someone who already has all the like they have all the power. Like all the power. Like I mean, and obviously they're willing to destroy things.
It is
so
you,
they're already,
fundamentally.
In a reckless path. I know, but like surely they've lived a different life if they're in a multiverse. Like other shit could have gone wrong for them. Yeah, maybe
I mean, it's not just about leverage as well. It's about, you could try and empathize with them. You could try and reach out to them in some way.
It doesn't have to be like this. We can hug. Hey, I'm a clone, basically. We can do stuff.
You want a clone bone?
Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me with your superpowers. I'm not as strong and powerful as you.
What would be their personal weakness that you could get through to them?
Yeah.
If they shared your same empathy.
Right, okay. What are they destroying? At the
Cities, people, children.
Cities and people, children.
It's me. I've come to your reality.
But
they're firing out lasers from their eyes with reckless abandon. They don't care about what they're hitting.
The sheer amount of laser fire is bonkers. Sheer weight of it. The weight of laser fire.
Maybe I'd go somewhere really cold. Really, really cold.
Yeah.
Take a picture of my penis and then post it on social media as him. And say, look, this is my tiny. And then I've then outed him with a tiny penis.
How do you think you would react to
that?
And
he leaves the reality in shame.
He's then gonna, but then that might just spur him on to get more angry and.
That's what I'm thinking. It might.
So maybe I should make it look really crazy big.
What if?
Stronger, like.
What if you threaten him with the idea that it could be leaked if he doesn't stop?
Yeah. Start just taking some really bizarre images of myself. And then like going, hey, look, I could leak this. I've got some contacts. But then he could just kill me. So I'll try that. I can try that.
Okay,
that's my method.
I'm gonna flip this on its head. I'm gonna test this.
Self-revenge porn.
I'm gonna test this back on you. I've got a low-angle, awful dick pic of you.
Oh mate, oh shit.
Of you, and I'm gonna leak it. I'm gonna first post it in all the. He tried to make his dick look bigger, but it's actually his balls look humongous. I
tried to make myself look like a titan.
Yeah, it looks horrific. It looks like a mole that hasn't seen daylight in years.
Looks like somebody stuck a cocktail sausage to a baked potato.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's awful. But I'm threatening to. I'm gonna first post it to all our friends, all the Discords that I have here. Just copy paste. It's all gonna go out. How much money would you give me to stop this from happening?
So this isn't
How
part of the
far are you
multiverse,
willing?
This is just you're just saying how much
just-
money.
I'm just
Trott.
testing,
Okay.
like, is the dick pic thing enough to stop a supervillain? If you were sharing the same mind.
Are you saying it wouldn't have the same hold? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just testing
no,
it.
it depends. Like,
See, that's what worries me. In that situation, I'd be like, scorched earth, baby. Send it to fucking everybody. And because I know that superheroes, well, not superhero, villain, let's be honest, would be raising those cities with reckless abandon. Laser eyes everywhere.
I don't
So
want to
Yeah.
see this
same
horrible
approach to a blackmail dick pic attempt. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck it. Show everyone my penis. Eat shit.
stuff. Well, okay, let's think
I'm gonna
about
find your house next.
Let's think collectively. Someone's got a picture of us all. We're buggering, all three of us. We're
Oh, not
and
that
they've
picture.
got a picture of it, and we
picture.
almost look at the camera. We just caught them. They've
We
taken
shouldn't
a
have
photo.
put that on a
What
timer.
do we do?
Must
I
be
know,
Craig.
what did we do in that scenario? Someone's threatening a
Yeah.
ransom on that. That's a group photo. That's all three of us.
I
Do we
reckon
embrace it and just say, "Well, fuck it, who cares"?
we hastily put together an OnlyFans and try and monetize it before they see everything.
That's the Kim Kardashian technique. I think that's what happened, isn't it? Or was it Paris Hilton technique? It was a Paris Hilton technique where they tried to monetize it immediately, and then they beat the press. And it's like,
But
oh,
there
now we
isn't
can make money.
somebody like out there now. I mean, it did basically make Kim Kardashian's career, right? Like that's for a lot
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
I mean, then
But we'd
there
have
was
to
the
kind
whole
of
thing
keep that
about
up if that was what we wanted to keep.
more
Yeah,
pics inside
more
a
pics. Well,
butthole
people
pic.
really like this. Should we just lean into this, or do we
How
just
can
kind of
we-
say, nah? They're
How
offering
can
a
we
lot
get
of money.
more graphic and extreme?
More graphic. That was the most graphic thing I've ever done. I was in the middle.
We need to one. we need to one up this. Anyone already got any ideas?
Ooh,
Well, I've got some
we need,
chains.
swings. We need some devices.
We need some animals.
Dear
Oh,
God.
God.
Let's go to the zoo. I don't know. I mean, in that scenario, yeah, I think the OnlyFans idea seems like, I think a bit of controversy would shine a light on us. And it's another YouTube channel we can make about it.
Another channel.
Another channel. Just about those
We're
things.
spreading our
So,
eggs
perfect.
from one
Spread
basket.
bread. That tiny knob of butter over several slices of bread.
Yeah, but if you have, for example, Marmite, 2 dents on one piece, you need to spread that amongst to make it nice and palatable. So
Yeah.
I consider us to be Marmite. If we're 2 dense and
Well, people
isolated,
either love us or hate us in that scenario.
yeah,
as
but
well,
maybe
which
if
I
we're
guess is
spread
true.
more thinly, we'll be more appealing to more people.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we might catch.
Yeah.
It's just like we've spread
can
it as
take
thin
them
as
in small
spider's web,
doses.
We might catch more.
Yeah.
It's wider. Right. Got you.
All right, Hatfilm's Marmite channel is coming out soon. Just to let you know, guys.
Dear God.
you know,
Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of Marmite, so that we can plenty to talk about. You love it.
plenty
I'll
to
hate
talk
it.
about. Yeah, ideal.
Are you a lover or a hater of Marmite?
Oh, hate it.
Why?
Could you
No, I
use
don't
Marmite?
hate it. I mean, hate is pretty strong. Like,
Yeah. Would you
know,
eat
like,
it? Though? Would you opt choose it?
No, I dislike it thoroughly. I
Something
do not
about
like
isn't
it.
there, that it just doesn't.
No, I can tell you what I don't like
It's
about
the
it.
smell, the taste.
It's the taste.
I don't know why I don't like it, other than just everything about it.
It tastes salty, which I have no
Yeah.
problem with. I like salty things, but it tastes really salty. And then it also tastes like, I don't want to say spicy, but it almost tastes a little bit like hot to me in my
Oh.
mouth. It kind of tastes a bit like, and then it kind of tastes acrid. It kind of just tastes like somebody burnt like salt and honey without the
Okay.
sugar.
So there's 1 spoon of
Horrible.
beef bovril in your left hand and 1 spoon of Marmite in your right hand. Which one do you think you could consume without throwing up?
I mean, they're both. I mean,
Very close to each other.
Pretty close. I
I'd
think
go the
Marmite.
Bovril. I would go the Bovril for me.
I would also go the bovril, but I feel like
Marmite's
it'd
so
be hard.
dense,
It's
isn't
hard
it?
to take
Ugh.
it down. A full spoon.
Is it more
Like a
meaty,
dessert
Bovril?
spoon. It's yeah, but I think they also have the same texture. Like that, I wouldn't say they're far away from each other, but
Mm.
there is that extra kind of like you say, that kind of not spiciness, but yeah, there's a. Ugh, I couldn't eat a spoonful.
remember,
And I also
like-
couldn't eat a spoonful of mayonnaise without throwing up.
Yeah. Do
There's
you
a
remember
lot
when
of
we had?
spoonfuls of specific things I couldn't.
The good news is that with dipping sauces, you don't need to eat a whole
No, you shouldn't. Yeah,
spoonful.
that's fine.
You end up, I mean, I do. I eat mayo and chips. Like, yeah, I eat way too much mayo.
The
But
chip
like,
makes it work.
does. I mean,
You're not just
I'm the
dipping your
same
finger
kind.
going,
Oh, a whole tablespoon of mayonnaise would be gross. And there are some things. It's like having a whole tablespoon of mint sauce. You know, like
I think I could eat that though.
oh,
The vinegariness
so
is
much.
strong.
It's
But I
really
think I could
strong.
do that. I could do that over the other three options.
Over
I
mayo?
suggested. Over mayo, I could do
Wow.
it. Over, I mean, I love mint sauce on a roast dinner. It doesn't matter what the roast is. I'll put mint sauce on it. Not the
Even
meat,
if it's
but the veg and the gravy. Mint
mint
sauce is king.
for lamb.
Don't like mint jelly as much.
Done.
I don't like the jelly. Doesn't need to be jelly-like.
Yeah.
Sauce.
We rank.
Not from a tub.
We
not from
rank
a
table
squeezy.
sauces.
I mean, we can rank table sauces, but we need like what? Like a big old pile of chips. They're gonna get cold.
Well,
We'll just keep
with an air
microwaving.
I can air fryer. So I can air fryer to the office, and I can make to the warehouse and make some really, really nice
We'll
potatoes.
get table sauces on the list. It'll be on there.
Okay.
The
We're
best
rankers
table
now.
sauces by country as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll rank for you.
Would there
So
be a
wait,
food?
Can we get to that?
Okay, so I'm going to bring it back. If you could put your supervillain variant into a situation where they have to decide continue destroying all of existence, but in order to do that, you have to eat this horrendous food, what would that be?
Dog poop in.
Like the worst thing.
Am I choosing the what? So as in he's
the worst thing that you
he's
could possibly have.
Or?
Yeah, so that he suffers or he walks away, not destroying everything. But in order to destroy everything, he has to have this horrendous food.
I'd have it so whenever he destroys an area with a dog poo bin in, he has to eat the contents of every single dog poo bin first before he can destroy it.
Like fecal matter, yeah.
That would stop him, wouldn't it? It would stop him.
That probably would.
That's probably the worst thing you could eat.
I'd do one bin and then be like, I can't. We stopped him.
Stuff is not fun enough like eating a whole dog bin.
So it has to be an actual food, though. I think that should be the rule. Otherwise, like
it used to be food.
There could be raw sewage.
Sure.
It's something you would never eat, but that would be something that if you ate it.
Oysters.
Yeah, that raw, stenchy fish stuff. You know, that's like.
Oh, what's that one which they say that like you have to open. Someone says just opening it underwater to avoid the smell.
Strom. That
you have to smell that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or destroy. Yeah. Just if you want to destroy cities, you have to have that smell under your nose always.
Yeah. Permanently, whilst you're destroying.
I don't know what that smell is. We've not experienced that smell to know how
it'd be
terrible
awful,
it is.
though.
I'm imagining fish and sewage combined, silage as well. All of it. It's all mixed into one big, horrible pot.
What if, Ross, every building you collapse as a supervillain, you have to have a spoonful of mayo? How many buildings would you be able to collapse if you really want to destroy everything?
It'll be perfectly fine. Because
I'm walking away from this one.
There was something on. I think it was like Big Breakfast years ago. Maybe it was some other morning thing. But I think it was actually SMTV where they got grannies to eat a spoonful of mayo, and then, like they were basically like gambling on whether they would spit it out or not. Like, that was literally the game. It was literally just, will she spit it out or will she swallow it?
They were struggling that day, weren't they?
Actually, quite perverse when you think about it. Like
spit or swallow,
you're
granny
giving
edition.
Granny mayo and asking whether she's spitting or swallowing. Pretty fucked, if you ask me. But that's the thing. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that's the right show, but I'm pretty sure it was SMTV Live. But yeah, when I watched that made me really feel sick. But yeah, I mean,
do you reckon that's what started
mayo in tuna?
The hatred of mayo?
I think that's certainly one of the things. One off. I mean, there's again, we've been through this. Many sauces will make you feel pretty shit to eat. Although, is there any table sauces you could eat? Could you eat just ketchup on its own?
Yeah, I think so.
You could.
I wouldn't want to.
I think it would be like a bit like sharp. There's that vinegary sharpness that's just a bit much.
Yeah, nothing tangy.
Just on its own.
If it's like a sweet.
Oh, salad cream. Someone just said salad cream.
I hate salad cream.
Yeah, I hate
the smell of salad cream. Oh my god,
it's so horrible.
I was handed a sandwich once and it had just so much salad cream in it, and I chomped down. It was more salad cream than like ham and stuff. And I was just like,
it's so bad as well. It's just awful.
It was the realization of what it was. I I almost threw up there.
Salad cream to me tastes a bit like what 50s cooking looks like. You know, like
it's
like the jellied
school.
eels and stuff like that. Like salad cream tastes really like this is weird. It doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
What does coleslaw come under?
Why don't I like it?
As it's not a table sauce, is it? It's more like a condiment.
Well, is that mayo mixed with like?
Yeah, it's just like
shredded
cabbage,
cabbage,
and onion. Yeah.
I can have coleslaw in small amounts. A spoonful again would. It's the mayo thing. The mayo.
It's the mayo thing. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, we got to the bottom of what
probably
would
go
stop
through a
a
load of
supervillain.
different gross things in a store and just start like taking spoonfuls and seeing. I could eat hummus by the spoonful gladly. I do.
Yeah, hummus is fine.
Tasty.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, bit rich if you start eating it like that though. Bit much.
Yes, I imagine so. Yeah. Do we want to move on to our third hypothetical, or move on to funny news?
I want to know what. I just want to hear what it is. Maybe
okay.
Just.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You've written a long paragraph there.
Go on then.
All right. So picture this: you're just coming out of McDonald's. The queue is insanely long, but you finally have your quarter pounder with cheese meal.
Specific.
You do not need to say quarter pounder with cheese. Quarter pounders come with cheese.
If it's written quarter pounder with cheese, so you say it.
Where's it written?
It says it on the board. It says
it in the menu.
Every time.
It should just
on
have
the menu.
Cheese.
I just want to make it clear he's editing our document to remove the with cheese part. Anyway, carry on.
Whatever.
Suddenly, a rippling shockwave that bends the literal floor. It's like saying, "I'll have a cheeseburger."
You can't get past
pickles, ketchup, and mustard.
Well, no.
You're just listing what comes in it.
I guess this is the issue here is do they offer a quarter pounder without cheese immediately?
Yes, but it's not the default offering. So if you ask for a quarter pounder meal, they will always give you the cheese.
It's probably like
I always say quarter pounder with cheese because it's written there.
It's probably an allergy thing, right? Where someone got an allergic reaction because they didn't expect quarter pounders to have cheese in it, and now they have to always state that there's cheese in a quarter pounder.
Who's
Something
having
like
hamburgers as well?
Don't always say it.
Anyway,
it should just be called a quarter pounder cheeseburger, really. Suddenly, a rippling shockwave that bends the literal floor in front of you throws you off balance, slamming your food onto the floor. It was Neo from The Matrix. Oh, hey, Neo, doing his takeoff into the air. You're just a bystander, but you've just become aware of being in The Matrix. How would you handle that?
So our knowledge of The Matrix is from the film.
Yeah.
So we know what The Matrix is by having watched the film and subsequent terrible sequels. He happens to be next to us as our meal's ruined on the floor.
Yeah.
Which I would be really annoyed about. How long was the queue? Half hour is really long for a McDonald's. I've waited around that.
It's a pain in the ass, right? Like you're already in a bad mood.
If I dropped the burger afterwards, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So I'd be.
God, that had cheese in it.
I'd be thrown off.
If you're mad about this, you'll
realist.
hate to hear about sleep. Where 8 hours of your day you don't actually get to experience just because you need to not experience things for 8 hours in order to function the rest of the time.
Yeah, but that's not an option.
We've evolved the need for sleep.
What is this? It's an option.
Thing.
No, it's not.
What are you saying?
So like being in the Matrix, because I know what you're saying. It's like, damn, I've just
I thought you were talking about queuing at
half
McDonald's.
An hour I am though. It's a bit of an intuitive leap. Like basically, you're saying it sucks that you're in a virtual world that people have powers to control themselves, but you have to spend 30 minutes in a McDonald's queue, right? And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why am I having to endure simulated pointlessness, you know? And that's what
I'm just saying.
The
The immediacy. You're not immediately snapping onto the fact that you're in a virtual world. You're immediately thinking, God, I just fucking waited half an hour for that fucking burger, and now it's on the. Hang on, wait, none of this matters. Then you pick up the burger and eat it because it doesn't matter.
It's not real dirt.
Covered in bacteria. There's nothing in there. Enjoy it.
I'm going to start eating the floor.
Though, and you start wasting away.
Sorry?
It does matter. If you stop eating, though, in the Matrix, and you start wasting away, then it does matter. Right? Yeah. Also,
but
I mean, how does death
it?
Work in the Matrix? Because if you die in the Matrix, you
get flushed out, I think.
You get melted in that little kind of gooey,
in the vat.
Pink goo, yeah.
But the Matrix version of you isn't related to the physical health of the real you in the tub, right? So
not really sure.
So if you were to stop eating within the Matrix,
yeah,
it wouldn't matter.
I think your brain, because it's convinced it's real, it's almost like you die because the brain shuts down from almost the placebo effect of not
or are you
eating.
dying because they unplugged you outside of the Matrix, or they started the melting process, and they're like, well, you're going to perceive this from what your actions.
Okay. So if you die in the Matrix, you can die in real life.
Yeah. But do you think if you fully believe, you see Neo and you fully believe, you'd be like, well, whip out that spoon, start bending it because
I'm a wizard.
Like,
yeah, but you can't. This is the thing.
Confirmed it for me.
Like all you've done. It's like watching superhero movies and then being told you're in that universe now. You are not Thor. Like you're not Neo. You're just an NPC that just had his McDonald's knocked over. And you don't have any of these powers. You just know how the other people have them. That's it.
But that's the kind of mania which causes riots and kind of a crazy person to go insane. Like that's the person who goes, "Well, I need to test this world. What can I do?" There's a granny there. Kick her over, knock her down.
To everyone else, though, I wouldn't have done that. You look insane.
Completely random. Of course, you look insane.
The other people in the Matrix
NPCs just realized they're in a fake world. Nothing matters. Granny's down on the floor. Someone's bypassed with an umbrella. Take the umbrella. Stab him with it.
Things do matter still because you're still tied to the Matrix, right? There's police officers that are still very much in the Matrix that are going to come after you and arrest you because you knocked an old woman over. And you're like, you're doing weird shit. You're going to get put in jail against your will because you can't bend the metal and fly out of there.
But he does though because he's aware. It's kind of like an analogy for lucid dreaming. It's the same situation. If you suddenly realize that the Matrix is a thing, then surely your knowledge of it and you get the ability. Well, I know that there's the blue pill and the red pill thing. I'm not sure whether that was some actual physical thing or just a choice the person has to make in order to allow themselves to start manipulating their own reality, right? It's a little.
I think it allowed them to eject
when you
from the
realize
Matrix,
a dream
right?
is a dream.
Because would you be the Cypher in this scenario where you're like, well, I want to be in the Matrix because like everything tastes better and I don't want to experience that boring, tatty clothes, cold,
so tatty,
metal chamber, sleeping on a single bed, like. All of that stuff is unappealing, whereas you could basically just live a life of crime and have a better life for it and know that it doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Because you're a battery in a thing. But you don't know that. Mm-hmm. This is the conundrum here. You don't really know. The thing is, you saw something once and now you're second guessing it because
maybe it's like a UFO sign.
Maybe I was just angry because I waited so long and then I slipped, dropped my burger and thought I saw Neo. When in fact, maybe it was just a fucking big old crow flying past me, knocking me.
Do you reckon the longer time goes on, the more you...
What the fuck is Neo? What?
And you just have flashbacks.
Angry at the world that I just fall into a delusional state thinking that I'm an NPC.
You go insane, right?
I think that this is a film. This is a film we can have.
It's almost like the veil's been pulled back, but you can do nothing about it. Because you're still in the you don't know how to get out of the Matrix, and you're not following all the major characters of Neo and Trinity and all that because they're off flying somewhere else.
Yeah,
but
you're not a main character. Is that even more infuriating? You're like, I'm not with those guys. I now know.
I want to go to
people who were around me at the time. If it's busy in that McDonald's, people saw that happen. Do I talk to them about it, or do they not respond because they're NPCs?
The thing, like you probably think about that.
NPCs in the Matrix, though. Or was everyone played by a real person?
They were all agents, technically.
The agents were, but no, the other people wandering around the Matrix.
It was proven that you remember in the very first film, the guy coded in the woman in red, who wasn't real. So if he can do it, then surely...
I wonder if it's a combination of both then, perhaps. Yeah. Or is it just everyone gets their own reality?
Yeah, maybe your mission is to find someone you would never, ever, ever speak to in your own thought process. You would never have gone to them or gone to a place where you would never normally go. Yeah, just that's where you try and have a conversation with that person. Yeah. You're like, look, I would never ever come here. This is not my thing. Are you a real person? And then if they suddenly start kind of giving you no backstory to their life, NPC that shit, you're like, fuck this.
So there is a limit. There's a CPU limit.
If you had to kind of be obviously, I mean, this is like the everything, everywhere, all at once type thing. But if you had to do something completely random, what do you think you would try and do? Something completely out of the ordinary. Where you go, how do I prove? Who am I speaking to? Am I on a plane about to skydive? Have I taken their parachute off?
Oh my god.
That's random. I wouldn't have done that.
I'd pick up a lizard, go downstairs, find my car, put them on the steering wheel, and get into the passenger seat myself and just look over and be like, "Come on, where are we going?"
Oh mate, this thing basically drives itself.
But it's kind of like, just like start expecting a lot of things that don't do that kind of thing. Like, oh no, my toilet's not cooking this cake properly, and I'm just there mixing a cake in the toilet bowl, pouring the flour and eggs in. Like, can't wait to see this cake in 2 hours. Yeah.
But knowing our videos, that's not far enough away from reality. Like,
yeah, we've done those things.
I think trying to pilot a plane, I would never ever do that.
Jesus,
that would be
never
random.
But you die.
You walked up, so rather than going right onto the plane, I go left into the cockpit and start closing the doors.
You get security on you, and you'd be pulled away and put in jail.
Yeah.
But then you got to spend your Matrix simulation in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I don't know how to get out of that one. Start prison fights.
Become king of the prison.
Accidentally become king of the prison because I'm so carefree that I started fighting all the biggest guys.
Yeah. So detached.
Why did this happen? And I'm like, I don't care. Break my arms. And jelly arms. Become jelly arms and legs.
My real body's much weaker than this.
The pain feels like nothing because I don't believe in my reality.
You should free yourself too, back, buddy. Like, oh, I don't care, but I
feel like we're touching on probably some sort of religious sect out there that believes this sort of thing, that there's a total separation of soul and body, not in a Matrix way.
Yeah, we can go out in the woods and start that. Let's just take loads of LSD and talk about it.
Sweet. I'm into it.
And if we write it down on like the thickest and then bark we can find, bam, that's our religion. Like, look,
maybe we'll get telekinetic powers as well from doing all the LSD.
Yeah. We just keep keep pushing ourselves more and more and more. Drink it like it's a beverage.
And let's all go get quarter pounders after. There's no need to say with cheese because they come with it. If you were hoping for a quarter pounder without cheese, however, say quarter pounder without cheese.
I'm looking at the McDonald's menu right now.
Yeah. I mean, it says with cheese.
Look at that. It says with cheese.
What I'm saying is you don't need to say that.
I know it does.
We don't need to say that though. You're using
that's the menu item
and effort for no reason. Like, as in nobody will ever go, oh, I ordered a pounder the other day and it came without cheese. Like, it won't come without cheese. It's made in a certain way. It's like saying, can I have
a quarter pounder without cheese, please? They're like, fucking weird. Yes.
Oh.
Of course.
I think we made you the Big Mac, but you didn't say Big Mac with sauce, so we just made you a Big Mac with lettuce.
In terms of saving time and effort, you spent more time trying to counter this point.
I'm trying to write this wrong. I'm trying to help people. I'm just trying to save everybody time.
Wow, you've wasted our time essentially.
But I've chosen a hill.
Could you order a quarter pounder and basically add on all the ingredients of a Big Mac and then turn it into a Big Mac, but make them do a load of legwork to get there? Or is that just too far? Can you go, can I have the Big Mac sauce, lettuce, what else is in a Big Mac?
No sesame seeds on top. Can I have one of those actually
thin buns in the middle, an extra patty on top? In fact, I'm basically describing the Big Mac, but I want it in a quarter pounder with cheese form. Thank you.
When I used to work there, I don't know if you know this, but I used to work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You
remember? I remember.
We used to make burgers like that for lunch all the time. So it'd be like, oh, get me 2 of these kind of patties, put a couple of mozzarella dippers in it. Chaos. Eventually, though, you'd always go back to like just the normal ones because they turns out
don't you have
the
to
most
stock
edible.
Check like how many Big Mac things you've used and how many quarter pounder things that you only got half of now?
Nobody's checking how many times you walked into the walk-in freezer with a couple of fresh hot mozzie dippers just to scoff. All right, nobody's looking. All right.
So there's always plenty, is what you're saying. You never really run out of things like that.
No, there's definite stock checks, but like things at the end of the day will go into a bin if they haven't been eaten. So you can just waste it. Sometimes a mozzie dipper will, like, they don't count how many mozzie dippers go into the fryer. So like every so often a couple will break or pop and so you'll come out. But sometimes they might find their way into the mouth of a certain.
Popped into my mouth.
Certain Al Smith.
But it's all a simulation, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's plenty to stew on, right?
That is a lot to stew
for this week. Another existential crisis for everybody.
Wow. We just NPC Matrix. That should be a film, isn't that? Is that not the
Free Guy?
Yeah, Free Guy. I haven't really watched.
I didn't watch it.
Watched it, but I didn't care about it.
I think it's more like a comedic take on that whole premise. Yeah, of finding out you're an NPC in a game. But yeah, thank you for listening today. If you'd like to check out the YouTube channel to see the visuals with it, we've got a channel for that. Just search for Hat Chat, the Hat Chat podcast on YouTube. Thank you to our patrons for supporting us every week and picking those hypotheticals. Man, you picked some really good ones this week. Thank you very much. Patreon.com/hatfilms. And also, if you have a cool fingal like Josh Youd, please send it to our email. Or you got some funny news to send us. hatchat@hat-films.com. Thank you very much. And without further ado, that's the end of Hat Chat. Any final words?
Thanks for listening and watching.
Ado. See, there was further ado.
Nice. See you next week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.